Hey everyone, welcome back to more of Zelda's Butt. And we just got the Master Sword, so that actually let us attack a whole bunch of extra dungeons. Some more annoying than others. I might as well pick up whatever extra cash I can get around here. And there's actually a few things I have to still do here, actually. I'll go after the more difficult dungeon first. Alright, so over here, you'll see one of these little dragon head statue things. And obviously there's something here. And you probably try all your items and, nothing works on it. But if you look kind of carefully, the mouth thing, about the same shape as a sword beam, actually. And that's what you actually need your Master Sword for. And that's the reason why you don't get sword beams until now. Alright, heading into Yusa Gonna Die. Yeah, that's a real optimistic name for this place. You got all the conveyor belts. You see wind roads are in this place. Yeah, this place is gonna be really annoying to go through. It's basically just a big enemy rush. Really annoying to get through this place. Well, I think most of these rooms have bubbles in them. So I believe even if you get hit by a wind robe, you shouldn't really need to redo that much because of all the bubbles here. Since they're going to prevent respawn. Yeah, this is really tricky to get through without losing your sword. I mean, if you lose your sword, it's not that big an issue because the next few rooms are pretty mild enemies. Well, at least, something your hammer can kind of work with. I mean, if you can maintain your sword, that's more power to you. But you'll see it's not really necessary. As your hammer pretty much works well enough for this place. I got some extra bombs. I'm full on them right now. Just gonna leave them there. Yeah, so bonus points if you can keep your sword handy. Again, if you lose your sword, it's not that big an issue. Just take advantage of the wind road positioning. Half tiles to keep yourself safe. Good shots here. I'm gonna go up here first, and And, okay, empty room. And you have your blue bubbles right here, so you can get your sword back. Luckily this isn't a very large place to go through, but as I mentioned, it's basically a one big enemy rush. And look, these regular Patras are just kind of a joke at this point. And again, if you get hit by the wind robe, you really don't have to worry too much about the backtracking, because if there's a bubble in the room, there's no respawn. And all the boss caliber enemies, like the Patras, I think the Dongos count, they don't respawn. You can rip through those, the school of fish. Again, the important thing with these wind robes is to kind of get yourself positioned correctly so that, and if you kind of get yourself in between tiles, and it's kind of hard to tell the tiles here, but if you get yourself kind of perfectly positioned, they'll miss you every time, and then you can just kind of whittle them down at your convenience. Do some multitasking here. Might as well get rid of you. The ideal way to actually handle these guys is actually get fairly close to them, and then as you're reflecting shots, you back up just a little bit. Because if you do it right, you know, they actually lose their invincibility frames just as the next blast, you know, goes right at them. You know, you're seeing some of those. I'm probably only hitting like every other shot there, but if you do it just right when you back up, you'll get them on every shot. Actually, before dealing with that room, you can actually head into the blank room, pick up some extra money. You might as well pick that up. Yeah, it gets really annoying when there are more of these to deal with. So unless they kind of line themselves up nicely to get a lot of deflected shots at once. But again, they will try to attack you from 2 or 3 angles. So you just try not to let yourself get cornered. Any rooms with wind robes, yeah, just try to get positioning first. I'm just trying to get myself positioned so that it's guaranteed that they'll miss me. playing this in ZC 2.1, then kind of good luck, because those wind robes appear randomly. You're gonna do a lot more dodging now. I'm slowly making progress. In this room you don't have to worry too much because there's red and blue bubbles in this room as well. I'm not kidding you when this is just a big enemy rush. Every one of them. Now that those wind robes are down. Convenient with that blue bubble there, so you don't have your sword. And you're just trying to keep the wind robes out of the equation. And here you reach a moblin that, as tempting as use the enemy bait, that's not what you use here. In fact, this door doesn't even open at all. So if you use your eyeball, and you see a hidden passage here, that gets you around that. At least these rooms are a little easier. If it doesn't have mirror robes in it, then it's a fairly simple room. I'll go up here first. Oh yeah, this is gonna be a fun room. Just a random mess of enemies. Might as well get rid of the fire rope first. At least one of them's down. And if you go right, it leads you back to that room with that moblin. Actually, I want to go down here first. I think this is a dead end. Yeah. Again, 2.5. If you're playing ZC 2.5, this room is pretty easy, since they kind of line up for you. pick up another piece of heart. And we got just a random mess of enemies. Go with 3. More trouble that going with 3 than I usually do. And more roads here. Again, just position yourself so that I almost got hit by one of them there, actually. Okay, now that I have control of this room, it's a bit easier to handle. I almost didn't see one of the wind ropes there. Well, at least I'm getting refills. I'm almost done with this place. Those red bubbles seem to have a nasty habit of tracking you. You're gonna have to go. Get rid of you first. Oh, I didn't know that the reflected shot actually does damage. Yeah, because the red bubbles seem to be just tracking me. Okay, well, after I got through that pretty messy room. Okay, this room is just a mess of enemies. Try to get some of my hearts back. First thing is to get rid of those wind robes. Once they're gone, then this room gets a little easier. I'm not sure what should be next on the priority. I don't think that Goma 4 is really that threatening because as long as you stay on the lower part of the room, then you're pretty safe. Alright, so Mirror Robe is down. A little bit messy there, but yeah, you can see, again, you want to get rid of those mirror or the wind ropes first, just to give yourself some breathing room. And you get the magic key for finishing this place. Kinda wish it was something I could have actually waited a little bit, but I kinda need this to go through another of the mini dungeons. get some refills out here. And actually, while I'm at it, I haven't even gone on this thing yet. Another one of these pirate ships. Now, you could have gone into this way earlier. I mean, you really just having the fire boomerangs probably more than enough to get through this place. But since I'm in the area, might as well take a look around. I mean, you do get some goods in here, but it's really not that useful. You could easily wait on this. Kind of an interesting gimmick to this place. Now, caution on the spikes, and these you can't actually walk through. They're like solid walls. I think they do 4 hearts a hit. And again, I think independent of your armor. At least that's what I think. Luckily, the main path you have to go on isn't that complicated. And if you go up, you go back to the dead end room. Again, you can't walk through the spike, so it's not like the lava where you can actually, say use a bomb and just boost yourself through it. No, these are just solid obstacles. Alright, this little red switch here is a little bit tricky. So as you're going to the right, you don't want to just keep going to the right. You want to step on the switch and then just stop there. Because you notice it actually switches the room around. So now it almost like one side's a flat floor, the other side is spikes. So can you imagine it just kind of flips the floor around. Again, this place is pretty much a joke at this point. And not really worth going through that tight passage. Nothing beyond that point. And the thing is, I think the hitbox is pretty large for the spikes there. So I don't think half tiles really save you on this. It's a lot harder to dodge them properly. Yeah, you got your sword beams, and I got my sword beams as well. Ooh, more money. So it's not the enemies that are the hazards in this place, it's actually the spikes. I mean, this room looks pretty simple to navigate now because there are no spikes in here. And that's just a dead-end room. But yeah, you have to flip the switch there to get to these stairs. pick up the pretty much unguarded boss key. And once you get the boss key, you can pretty much flip this back around. And again, nothing in this room. Don't need to go through that staircase of spikes. Yeah, luckily this is a boss lock and not a regular lock, because otherwise I'd just go right down here and grab the prize in this place. Pick up a magic jar, which not really that big an issue. That's why I kind of waited. I think we just make our way back to the start. I'm gonna finish with this little short mini dungeon. I'm pretty much just like clobbering everything like one hit now. Alright, pretty much nothing else to do in this place, so after we get our loot. I think there's one more thing I can get in this area. I was thinking of going back to the jungle to get that 50 rupees, but given that I'm almost capped right now, spare that 50 rupees for later. And before I forget to go into this place, another one of these underwater passages. Again, you can come in here pretty early, you just need flippers. Although you'd be facing three oval Patros here. Be kind of intimidating you with just a white sword. I mean, now it's really trivial. I mean, I just went through a place that had a whole bunch of these guys. I'm gonna scoop up another piece of heart. You guys are dropping a lot of money here. Okay, so we got through Yusa Gonna Die. We got the magic key, which is pretty much needed in one of the later challenge dungeons. So we'll be going... I'm not sure if I'm going to do that next. I think there's a few other bonus dungeons I can go through in the meantime. So I'll see what I'll go through in the next part. Alright, see you guys later.